And so sometimes I feel like when a song comes to me in like an hour, like that wasn't me, that was an elf.
Yeah.
Get ready, it's the new edition, your favorite morning meditation. Hey, it's me, part in my success. I'm a hot mess. Part in my success. Part in my success. Part in my success. Part in my UPMS.
Lindsay Liebro, welcome to Pardon My Success.
Part in my success. Part in my
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for wanting to come on. This was so exciting. I feel like, so we are now in our 4th season of the podcast, which is very exciting. And you are like I think you are actually our 3rd person to ever like reach out and be like, hey, would love to come on the show. And I'm always like, this show? You want to hang out with me? But that's so exciting. Oh my goodness. It's so nice to meet you. How did you find out about us? Please tell us more.
I think you did an episode with Taylor Bickett.
Yes.
And I'm like totally obsessed with her music.
Oh my
And
God.
she also lives in Nashville. So I was just like, hey, might as well reach out and see.
Yes.
You'd want to interview me, so.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you here. Have you met Taylor, or are you just love her music?
I haven't, but she's doing a show tomorrow night, and I'm going to that, so maybe I'll.
Oh my God, wait. I would love to connect you guys. We could absolutely make something happen. So she
that
went
would
to
be
college
amazing.
with my producer and very good friend Dan. And so he one day was
Okay.
like, hey, do you want to interview Taylor Bickett? And I went, hold on. Quarter life crisis, Taylor Bickett? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yes. So she just came on and was like such a lovely, lovely human. So I love that you also love her, and she is so sweet. So yeah, I would love to figure something out. But I'm so excited to have you on because you are also an iconic singer, songwriter, fellow artist, performer, human. And I would just love to chat a little bit about how that all came to be and what you're doing now and how we're making it happen and living the dream. So my first question to you is, when did you release your first song?
Yeah, so I released my first song, I think it was June 4th, 2021.
Oh, wow.
It was a song called Boardwalk, and I kind of did that through a radio station back home called, YP, WYP, I don't know why I just blanked. I was like thinking of the numbers. Anyways, yeah, so I did that. It was called the Reimagination Project, and they would get a bunch of teens from Pittsburgh to kind of make a compilation album. And then we got to work with a producer, and it was just the best experience ever. And I feel so grateful that I was able to do that at I was 16?
Oh my God.
A baby voice on that song.
It's such a good song. First off, big shout out Sunset and Vine. I literally was like, I live at which is actually like 4 blocks from Sunset and Vine. My local Trader Joe's is at Sunset and Vine. One of my best friends lived in the building that was called Sunset and Vine, and I was like, this is so funny. So where is home for you?
I am originally from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. But you were like, I'm going to Nashville. This is the dream. How did that? Yeah. So true. So is the dream to be country vibes? What are we doing?
Totally like pop for sure. You know, Nashville has always been in the back of my mind since I was a kid, because obviously I grew up loving Taylor Swift, and she has so many roots there too. But then when I was looking for colleges, I stumbled across Belmont, and
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Literally, Dan and Taylor both went to Belmont. Yeah. Okay. That's so funny. Okay. Good. Love that we're all connected.
Oh, it's the smallest world ever.
No, literally. Did you see
learning that.
Caroline Pace? I don't know if you know her at all. She also went to Belmont and was just on the podcast last week. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Insane.
we got a lot of Belmont folks on here.
So
I'm
many.
obsessed. Wait, so funny. Okay, so you were like, I'm going to Belmont. We're doing Nashville.
And I realized that once I was here, it totally is not just country. There's so much pop that's starting to grow out of Nashville. So I was like, this could be a really cool place to be and kind of, experiment with my sound and just kind of see what's going on. And I've really enjoyed my time so far. I'm a junior right now, and I feel like I've learned so much just like being in this city, and it's not too different from Pittsburgh, but it's definitely different enough. The main difference is the music is everywhere all the time, which is just super cool.
No, I love that. I feel like there are so many LA folks that are actually right now making the move to Nashville because it's more of a music hub, there's more production folks around, and it's affordable. In comparison.
In comparison, yes.
In comparison, much more affordable. Okay, well, how did you start performing as a solo artist?
So I've been singing for as long as I can remember. I think the first time I sang in front of people was at my aunt's wedding when I was like 4, and I sang my silly rendition of Since You've Been Gone. And I've just been singing ever since. And then when I was, I was like a freshman in high school, and that's kind of when I started writing my own songs. That's also when I started teaching myself guitar. And so I just was singing to myself in my bedroom. And then over quarantine, I was a sophomore at that point, and one of my classes, my English teacher, he was like, if you're doing anything cool while you're stuck at home, send a video and we'll put it in and we'll show the class. So my friends convinced me to submit one of my original songs and a video of me singing it. And that was the first time I was ever really showing people my stuff. And then I just started posting videos online, and I was able to start doing gigs around Pittsburgh, and I just never stopped. So now I'm here.
That's so cool. Wait, so how did you kind of get your first gig?
Basically, when I was going into my junior year of high school, and I had submitted for this radio contest through WYEP, and it was a singer-songwriter contest. I submitted my songs, and I was like, you know what, I'm just looking for feedback, just to like get my name out there. And I ended up winning the whole contest, which was so insane. And I think I was the youngest person to ever win that.
You were, according to your Spotify bio, I think you were the youngest contestant ever in the competition, which is crazy.
So.
And you won the whole thing. That's incredible.
I know.
Congratulations.
And that was like the first real contest I feel like I ever even really did. But one of the things so we got a photo shoot done, I got to work with a producer, and that's how I got to get my song Wasted Potential produced. And then through the Reimagination Project, which is also part of the same radio station, that we did live little gig, all of us sharing our songs. So that was kind of like the first taste of doing live performances of my own songs, which was really different.
Yeah, were you performing, doing other stuff beforehand, or was it literally just like, boom?
Well, in elementary school, I was always singing a Taylor Swift song at the school talent show, and then I did theater for a while.
Hey, theater kids.
So, yep. So I had experience performing, but it's a feeling to sing your own songs.
Yeah, 100%. I totally feel you. It's just a lot scarier. I feel like it's so intimidating because I don't know if you found this to be, but it's like there's no right way to do your own stuff versus with theater. There's a right way. There's certainly a right way.
Yeah.
There's the way things are supposed to be sung. But how do you kind of promote yourself for these gigs that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, my parents honestly helped me a lot because my dad will tell all of his friends at work and be like, you gotta come out downtown, like see my daughter sing, and like they just all love me and support me, which is so nice. And then at my gigs, my mom will hand out business cards to like anybody who like throws in $1. And it's like, it's the funniest thing, like while I'm singing and I'm watching her chase people down the street trying to give them my card. And yeah, I'm just like, I make posts whenever I'm like, hey guys, I have a show, and then I'll post it online on bands in town or whatever and stuff. So just trying my best to.
No, you're doing amazing. Hell yeah. How many gigs have you performed now?
Oh, wow. Oh, definitely like over 100 at this point. I think I do maybe like 50 gigs a year, maybe. I don't know.
That's insane. What? How?
Well, I'll just like cold call, email every single local restaurant in town and be like, hey, can I play a gig? And they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I booked a gig.
Wait. I have so many questions. Okay. How many songs are you playing? What is a set for you? Like, are you getting paid? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I'm more so speaking about like, when I do gigs in Pittsburgh, because doing a gig in Nashville, it's like you're doing a writer's round singing 3 songs, and if you get $5, that's a good day.
Yeah.
But back home, usually, I want to say most of my gigs are about 2 hours. Usually it's like either 1 to 2 hours. And I guess I sing maybe like 30 songs. I don't really know. All of them are originals. And then like they do pay me in Pittsburgh, which is so nice. So it's become a little like a side gig for me, which is awesome.
That sounds like more than a side gig. That sounds like a lot of very full gigs. What? I'm so shook right now. Like, I'm like tearing up a little because like, first off, the fact that you have 30 original songs to be performing is wildly insane. Just truly. Are these all out? Available?
No, I only have 8 songs out. So like the people who come to my gigs, they're getting the deep cuts.
The deep cuts, yeah, the real niche material. And it's only ever your stuff. That's amazing. So you're never like performing any covers or anything like that. Wow.
No.
What an inspiration. Everybody, I need to get on your level. I'm actually feeling so behind right now because like, that is incredible. Genuinely, kudos to you. That's a huge feat. I love performing and consider myself to be a performer, and I am certainly not reaching out to, I should be, but I'm not. And we all need to have the confidence of Lindsay and be getting out there and being like, hey, can I please sing for you? And then see what they say, because literally all they can say is no. And then you're just like, okay, then I won't sing there, I guess.
No, exactly.
Wow. Okay, so have you found it like with Nashville booking gigs is like a little bit different? How is that kind of going on?
I feel like, well, I haven't totally reached out. I haven't really reached out a ton in Nashville to book anything, mainly because I'm always super busy with school, so I don't even want to give myself the option. But most of the time, it's just about connections you make. I'll like know people at school, and they'll be like running rounds, and they'll be like, oh, Lindsay, I want to play this round, and then I just do it. And
what's
it's
around?
I guess maybe they don't have this in other places.
Yeah, I was like, is this a Belmont thing or is this a Nashville thing?
I think it's a Nashville thing. So like a writer's round, usually it's 3 writers, and then for an hour they'll just I'll sing a song, and then the next person will sing their song, and then another person, and then it goes in a round, and we all just sing our songs.
Wait, that's so cute. I want
Yeah.
to make that happen. Wow. Okay. We're learning so many things today. Maybe this is a thing in LA, and I have just been living under a rock. Entirely possible. Okay, so that's what's happening in Nashville. What do you think is like the hardest part of the music making process for you?
Oh, that's a good question. It's so interesting because I feel like sometimes I'll write a song and it just feels like magic. I read this book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she talks about how sometimes when you're writing, it feels like there are little elves that are helping you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel like when a song comes to me in like an hour, like that wasn't me, that was an elf.
Yeah.
That
was
helping.
literally the elves. I love that.
But I think the hardest part can be like, I don't know, honestly, as of recently, I feel like I've had a harder time writing more emotional, like, ballad type songs, which is interesting because I used to only write those. And then I really came back to my pop roots, and I'm having so much fun with that. But it is interesting that because so many people that I'm surrounded by will just naturally gravitate towards writing the sad thing. And I'll also gravitate towards writing the sad thing, but then I don't feel as proud of it as I am like a really catchy, heavy internal rhyme pop song.
I love an internal rhyme. But
Yes.
I feel you on that. It's hard. It's hard, for sure. I think with like upbeat music, it's also maybe something where you're having to fit so much more into such a smaller, not a smaller space, but the same amount of space as to where normally it's like, if I'm singing a ballad, it's like, it can go on. My heart can go on. But with a pop song, you have 1 8-bar to get across all of the emotions that you are trying to get across right now. Would you say that the process of you actually writing differs when you're doing a ballad versus a pop song, whether it's writing lyrics first, melody first, production, any of that?
Yeah, I feel like I've been writing so much recently, and every approach has been different. Like this past week, I've been co-writing with people and writing to track, or like someone brings in an idea and we try to shape around that. But I think the most like truest form for me has always been just grabbing my guitar and just picking some chords and just going with whatever my brain first runs to.
Heck yeah.
That would always be like the most purest form of writing for me.
That's beautiful. And the signature blue guitar that is
Oh,
mentioned in music, in the bios, in the things. I was like, that's so cute. I'm obsessed with that. I love a signature item. That's so beautiful. When did you start learning guitar?
I started learning guitar. Well, I got my first guitar when I was like 8 for Christmas, I think. But I never actually learned it because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. But then I saw someone on Instagram just like singing Taylor Swift covers with their guitar, and I was like, wait, she makes that look so easy. I could totally do that. And then I was like probably 14 and I started teaching myself how to play guitar, like for real.
Wow, that's so cool. And then, yeah, you released your first song at 16. You've been speed running this. Heck yeah, go you, girl. Would you have done anything differently looking back now?
Ooh. I don't feel like I have any regrets so far in my 20 years of life.
Good.
But I think if I had known the things that I know now, I for sure would have done things differently, because I think I didn't realize it was possible for me to be able to be a completely independent artist. Because thrown into this at like 16, I didn't know anything about getting songs produced, getting them released, like all the behind the scenes stuff. I knew nothing about that. The only thing I knew was how to sing and write a song, and I was like, okay, someone help me do the rest. But now that I have been signed to a label and then dropped by the label, and now that I'm independent again, I realized that I totally didn't need to be under a label to be able to do this stuff. Granted, they did fund my music, which was a huge help, and I'm so grateful for that. But I think in terms of actually getting the work done, I was doing the heavy lifting of that anyway, so I totally could have been able to do that independently.
Wow, that's amazing. How very Chapel Roan of you. No, but I also totally feel that. I've heard so many horror stories about the labels of it all, and I went to school and, are you studying music right now? Is that what you're doing?
I am.
Okay, amazing. So I'm sure you're in music distribution classes where they're basically like, here's how they can literally ruin your life one day at a time. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. So yeah, no, I think more people need to be educated on all of the ins and outs of what it actually takes, and then what you can actually do on your own before trying to call in other people to help you out who may or may not try to keep you indebted to them for the rest of your life. That's all. That's all. How are you liking the independent artist vibe?
I am loving it. Just to be able to have the creative freedom of releasing the songs I want, promoting it the way I want, doing the shots the way I want. It's just so freeing, and I feel like the most me right now in my artistry than I ever have before.
Hell yeah, that's amazing. That's very beautiful. Great. Hell yeah. Who is your biggest dream collaborator?
Ooh. I want to say Taylor Swift. Can I say that?
Yeah, you may. It was / biggest musical inspiration, and I feel like we've dropped enough Taylor in here to just give her that crown, as she deserves. As she deserves.
As she
Icon.
deserves.
We love her. Okay, amazing. What is the scariest moment you have experienced so far as an artist?
Yeah, I feel like the scariest moments of being an artist have been kind of like my experience in school, which is so interesting. I'd never been around so many musicians and artists before, and so I feel like when I came here, I developed this intense performance anxiety, but it only ever happens when I'm performing in class for my peers where they're about to give me feedback, and they might tell me that I suck and that I'm awful and I need to quit. But then, I literally just performed at school a couple weeks ago with our ensemble, and I did an original song. I did the whole artist thing, was not nervous in the slightest. So it's so interesting. I've just been playing a pinball mind game of how I feel. I'm never gonna know how I feel before performance, which has been the most unnerving thing to figure out.
Yeah. It's like, am I nervous? Am I excited? Maybe both.
Yeah.
See, all of the above. No, that's
Yes.
very fair and very beautiful. And I know you have to go to class soon, but really quickly, in the last 10 minutes that we have, I would love to, kind of delve into the process a little bit more. Obviously, I don't know if that makes sense, but I would love to try to write a little ditty together. It obviously can just be a very short little clip, but it would be kind of fun to brainstorm an idea, try to come up with some rhymes, and then maybe a little bit of a melody. If you want to pull the guitar out, that would be really sick, and I would love that so much. Okay, she reaches behind her, immediately guitar is there. That happened so fast. We didn't even need a break. There's the guitar. Oh my god, the blue guitar! Iconic. All right. Okay. What kind of vibe are you feeling right now? Are we poppy? Are we ballady? Are we sad? Are we excited?
Maybe like a pop thing, maybe.
I love a pop thing. Okay. So when you're starting with a pop thing, are there any particular chords that you kind of gravitate towards?
Well, I have a really bad habit. Well, this is my guitar's tuned in open D, but I always do this I love that progression so much, so I need to stop myself from using it. All my songs will start to sound the same, but I just love it so much.
No, it's your
perfect.
sound. I love that. No, that's super cool. What progression is that?
I'm just like on the 5th fret and then 7, 9, and just going back. I'm sure there are names for the chords, but I'm not gonna think.
I don't know guitar well enough, but I was, if it's a C, we can tell the people, but if not, that's totally fine. Okay, so we're starting on the 5th fret. Everyone, pull out your guitars. And okay, what is a general theme for today that you feel we could be writing about? Is there anything that you're feeling particularly inspired by, excited for, worried about?
Well, I actually was thinking about this yesterday. I wrote this on my I don't know if you can see it, but I wrote it on my whiteboard up here, and it says love still exists even if it hasn't found me yet, because I feel like there are so many people and friends in my life right now who are like having these fun little romances and falling in love, and it's like so sweet to witness it all. But I feel in my own life the opposite. I have to remind myself that like, even if it's not happening to me right now, it's happening to other people, and that means that love still exists.
Wait, that's really beautiful. Okay, I love that. Let's go off of that. Okay, so if we're coming from the place of like, just haven't met you yet, Michael Bublé, almost, but in the kind of female-centric, where it's like we're happy for people. We are, okay, any particular people that we are seeing right now that are good models of love?
Ooh, honestly, just my friends.
Okay.
Like, I'm seeing them just have the most sweetest time.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm seeing right now is at the very beginning stages too, so it's very playful and very.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to. Love still exists even if I haven't had it, haven't experienced
Even if it hasn't found me yet.
Even if it hasn't. Even if it hasn't found me. I love that. So, what are some names of friends?
Ooh.
Very Taylor Swift of us right now.
Am I gonna name drop them right now?
I mean, I think it's a good thing.
Well, I'll say my friend Grace.
That's a beautiful name, too.
She is a dear. I love her so much. We're actually going to Ireland together this summer.
Oh my god, I love that. Iconic.
I know.
So fun. Just the two of you?
Well, we're going on a study abroad trip through school.
Cute. Love study abroad. I went to Australia. It was sick.
Her sister, and I love her, so it's gonna be so fun.
Wait, okay. So Grace has found some love.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And how are you seeing her show up differently because of this?
Ooh. I feel like she just seems so like bright, you know? And just like there's a giddiness, you know?
Oh. It's like Grace has found her light. A giddiness that shines so bright. That seems kind of cheesy, but that's what we're writing for right now because we have 5 minutes. This is the fastest song the world's ever seen. Okay. All right. And then how are you feeling when you kind of see that? Like, obviously happy for her, but, you know, maybe a little wistful, a little hopeful.
Yeah, I think, well, like, honestly, like, when it was, like, kind of starting, I was, like, in the depths of, like, the worst obsession over someone.
No.
And it's not ended well.
Oh.
But I think that was kind of like seeing her be so happy and like have like good communication between her and her person and me not experiencing that. I was like, wait a minute. I deserve what she also has. Yeah. I don't need to be like punishing myself.
Yeah.
like being stuck in this still.
Hell yeah. Grace, I see. Oh wait, okay. Grace, I see, has found her light. Goodness that shines so bright. My limerence
darkens the night. Self-punishment that feels so right.
Okay. I know where I'm trying to get to the chorus. Cause love still exists even if it hasn't found me yet. Love still exists. Yeah.
Still exists.
Wait, that's so good. Okay, this is happening. I would love something where it's like at the end where it's like, but I won't regret. We haven't gotten that far. This is coming to you soon. Lindsay has to go to class, but get excited for Love Still Exists. What's our title? Found Me Yet? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Found Me Yet. All right, this is happening. We have 5 lines. But you got to see a little bit of how it happens right here at the beginning, and we would love to have you back on to finish this. Also, if you are ever in LA at any point, please come hang out. I would love to work on some music together and hang out.
Yes.
But Lindsay, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your talents and amazingness with all of us. You are so lovely. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on Pardon My Success.
You so much for having me. This has been the most fun ever. You're just such a light.
Oh my God. You're such a light. I love it. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna hang out soon. It's gonna be so great. Everybody go follow Lindsay. And Lindsay, I'm gonna say
Pardon my success. Pardon my you PMSing. Are you PMSing?